managers and a VP that was Jim, so I was forced to change my name. So I adopted JD.
I was actually referring to Cox Automotive as opposed to Auto Trader Group. Sorry.
Sorry. Because a lot of people know me as Jim.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. I've only seen you in my email as JD. Greetings. Welcome to the ManageIQ podcast. This is John Mark Walker, and I'm here with JD Calder from now Cox Automotive. I have to remind myself to say Cox because they used to be, until a few weeks ago, Auto Trader Group. Welcome, JD. I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you.
Excellent. And you are coming to us from live in downtown Atlanta, right? Is that what I'm saying?
That's Atlanta in the background there. Yeah, we're on the suburbs. We're up at the Perimeter Center.
Okay, fantastic. I was in Atlanta for the OpenStack Summit. I think it was the first time I'd been there in like 20 years. It's changed a lot over the last couple of decades. So
pretty much everything's changing like that except for the traffic.
Well, yeah, that is one constant you can always depend on. So the reason you're stopping by because I wanted to talk to you about what you're doing with CloudForms and now ManageIQ and your involvement in the ManageIQ community. Could you give me a little bit of a background about how you came to be a CloudForms customer and why you're involved in the ManageIQ community?
Okay. Yeah, this happened before I joined that. It was Auto Trader Group at the time, now Cox Automotives, but they had a bake-off with several different vendors, and ManageIQ won, and we implemented ManageIQ here at Cox Automotive. Then Red Hat acquired them, and we installed Red Hat CloudForms. So we've been running 2.0 for some period. We just upgraded to 3.0 recently, and cool. That's currently what we're running. I'm playing with 3.1 in the lab currently.
Yes, yeah, that is the new hotness, which is the first release based on an upstream ManageIQ release. So it's a big development all around, both for the ManageIQ release that happened last month and the CloudForms release that's based on it. It's a milestone in the development.
Yes. It's exciting, especially some of the things that they're doing with automation.
Excellent. And what is your background? What do you what brings you to your current position? Have you always been kind of a virtualization cloud guy, automation guy? What's your
in a previous life, I was a Java developer. Worked a lot of the from the glass back to the API mostly. So I did a lot of Java development, but I spent a number of years in the military, so I worked on a lot of Unix flavors.
Nice.
So that I also did a lot of Bash programming, Perl programming, a lot of different variety of things. I guess I'm a polyglot, programmer there. But I started moving away from the Java side and into .NET, and then came across this opportunity with Auto Trader Group and now Cox Automotive, and got in and was real excited. The person and team that I was working with was dynamic, and they had a lot of plans for doing a lot of automation. They want to push button automation for their infrastructure. So it was an exciting opportunity, and I jumped in feet first.
And I do have to apologize for hiring away Brad Askar. He liked CloudForms so much he joined the company, and
That was a had I known that, because I truly enjoyed working with him, and I think really I kind of claimed driving him away, because after working with me just a couple of months, he said hopeless cause and I'm out of here.
No, we love Brad too. He's good. In fact, he was also on this podcast a couple of days ago. So tell me what kind of special things are you doing with ManageIQ these days? I know you've got a session coming up at the Design Summit next week. Tell me a little bit how you kind of bend it to your will.
There's several different things, but really the push button automation is what we're looking at. We used to have developers come on quite often, or contractors, and it was almost a 2-week period for the time they put in a service ticket to actually before they got a VM, because of all the manual processing and people sitting on people's desks and waiting. And with the automation, we're able to basically a manager or the person, that individual can request their own taxi machine, which we call it, is a developer machine, and within 20 minutes, they're up and running. So we've taken that and there's certain things that we needed. We need a dependable IP management system so that we can, put these, VMs out there and make them available immediately. As well, we've done a lot of different reporting, and we also do a soft retirement for these VMs so that if a developer leaves, it goes into a dormant period, powered down, but not deleted for a period of time. So
that's great. Yeah, so it's all about the automation and self-service. Then sounds like. Did you build your own? Did you build your own service catalog, or did you use kind of like the one that comes with ManageIQ?
We did. We extended a lot of the capabilities that were already in ManageIQ. That's one of the great things about ManageIQ or CloudForms is, it's highly extensible. It's highly flexible. You can do a lot of different things with it to the point that it's almost difficult for a newbie to jump in and really understand everything that's happening. So we took some of the existing code. I worked with some of the folks at Red Hat to extend it to what we needed. One of the things we needed was to be able to have push button generate X number of VMs with a single request. And that also added some challenges with the IPAM, making sure that it was thread safe. But worked with the Red Hat support team, and yeah, everything's, it's been great getting these things out there.
So for those of us who are less knowledgeable than others, explain to me the IPAM and what it was about it that you need to extend with ManageIQ.
Well, basically, an IPAM is an address management IP management system that basically is going to have an IP. It's going to have the gateway, the network, the subnet mask, all the things that you would need to register a machine on the network. Host name can be either included, or we actually have it optional, where we have a flag that we can set it either dynamic, where we'll provide the name, or we'll take the name from the IPAM. But basically, you could think of them almost of a database table, and each IP with the name and all that subnet information is one row. So we can actually have it hitting different subnets, if we needed to. Great.
Okay. No, I can see why you would need that. Now, when you're using ManageIQ on the back end, does your service catalog interface with a VMware deployment, or is it a Rev, or is it an AWS section?
Yeah, yes, we are primarily a VM shop. We do mostly RHEL and Windows, and we have a little bit of Solaris in there, but RHEL and Windows is what we're running mostly. And we do have a presence in AWS. It's not much right now, but that is a big push in the company, is start looking at cloud first.
I'm sure that everyone seems to be going in that same direction. How do you guys handle how do you guys handle the data privacy and governance issues that they're facing public cloud deployments? A lot of companies are reluctant to go all in on public cloud for that reason. How do you guys?
Yeah, it's going to be a virtual. It would be a virtual private cloud is what they're really looking at. I haven't been deep into the AWS initiatives right now. They're doing a lot of exploration. The things that we're looking at are greenfield type deployments. There's not too much being converted over to AWS as much. To write it stateless like that is going to be an effort that we haven't decided on just yet.
Okay. Well, it's definitely seems to be the public seems to be the way of the future, but I think there's always going to be a place for that private data center that you have the complete control over. Especially when it comes
it's always
to
exciting to walk into the data center.
yeah, exactly. Especially when it comes to issues like compliance. But the beauty is with something like ManageIQ, you have the option to go either way or both if you choose.
Yes, and that's great right now because and I know that's some of the future goals as well. Is have a single pane of glass that you can look at all your providers, be it on premise or in the cloud. And that's a great thing that ManageIQ provides us, because we actually do that. We have one region with 4 data centers being managed under, so it's a single pane of glass, basically.
Cool, that's awesome. So next week is a design summit. You guys have a session on October 8th where you're talking about your IPAM stuff. I mean, walk me through what you're going to be talking about when you're there.
Well, implementing an IPAM is just as glamorous as it sounds. It's not. It's pretty basic, but the things, it's mandatory. It's a core feature to be able to have an IP system that you can depend on, that's going to be there every time, and that we're not going to have duplicate IPs being issued. So it's a core feature. We're going to walk through some of the things that we've done. Like I said, Brad Askar, got me started, but I only had a couple of weeks with him really of good development time before he left. So a lot of what I've learned is on my own and through the groups. And I must say the news groups and the community has grown quite a bit in the last few months. But when I first got into it over a year ago, they were quite lacking. And the help files weren't always helpful. No. So it was a lot of trials and tribulations and testing and seeing how things can be done. So I got in there and played with a lot of things and had some failures. So, you learn things from each time something doesn't work. So we're going to walk through the whole system and things that we've added. One of the big things that we needed was to be thread safe. So we worked on a mechanism with a reserve token so that now we reserve an IP instance if multiple requests are coming in at the same time.
Fantastic. So, okay, that's great. No, you guys are going to be a very valuable resource to the rest of the user community. I can already see that. And I have to put in a plug here. We're going to be creating an extensions depot for ManageIQ.org, where the stuff that JD is talking about, he'll be able to share that and upload that so that other people can benefit from all the work they've done. And it'll work both ways. Other people will be able to upload their stuff as well. So look for that in the next couple of months. In fact, I'll be giving a talk about that project on the same day, on October 8th, talking about the extensions depot and how we're going to implement that. So good stuff all around. So just a reminder, you can go to ManageIQ.org. You can sign up for the Design Summit today. You'll get to meet JD and a host of other smart people, and I hope you'll join us. It's shaping up to be a really great event. JD, thank you so much for coming by. It's been great talking to you.
John Mark, I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person.
Awesome. Thank you.